Hello guys and greetings to you, Mr. Dodi. We hope you are healthy and doing okay. So I will introduce myself and my teammate. My name is Kevin Wijaya, and then my team members, first is Alencia Angelica Vera, second is Dameria Aritonang, and third is Aura Austin. So in this video, we'll talk about the bank services and central bank tax. For the bank services itself, we already make it for 13 points, and the central bank tax we made it 3 points. So total we have 16 points to talk about in this video. And my team members, our Austin, will explain for point 1 until point 4, and Alencia Angelica Vera will explain point 5 until point 8. Daimeria Aritonang will explain point 9 until point 12, and myself, I will explain about point 13 until the central bank tax, which is 3 point in the last. So enjoy.
Hi, my name is Aura Rahmani Austin. I'm from International Class of Management 2022. So today I want to explain you guys about the other types of the bank services. So let's get to the material. Okay, first we got transfer. In finance, the definition of transfer is remittance received by a bank, including the result of incasso, collected through a bank, which will be forwarded to another bank to be paid to the customer. In simple terms, a transfer is a bank service activity to move a certain amount of money as the order of the customer to the other customer as well. Bisa di bank yang sama atau di bank yang berbeda. Okay, in Indonesia there are three transfer mechanism. First, real-time gross settlement, system clearing Indonesia, and real-time online. I will explain to you guys one by one. Okay, there's two types of transfer. First, real-time gross settlement is an electronic transfer system where banks that are connected to the RTGS system owned by Bank Indonesia. The transaction process can be carried out immediately, but it's different with real-time online because real-time online is the mechanism for the customers that need to transfer their money in real time by using switching that connects to bank. Jadi it's different because real-time gross has a minimum transaction about 100 million rupiahs, and that carry much more time than the real-time online. Real-time online only had maximum transaction by 50 million rupiahs, so it's different. Real-time gross need more time to transfer their money. Next is System Clearing Nasional Indonesia or current account. This mechanism takes quite a lot of time. First, the bank will forward the customer's transfers order to BI SKNI system, and then the money will be collected in the BI system first. After certain process and time, the system will forward to the destination bank. After that, the bank will forward it to the customer. So this system had maximum transaction about 500 million rupiahs. Okay, next we get incasso. According to OJK, incasso is the collection of checks and other debts securities, including acceptance and bonds, to the issuer of securities, as well as receiving payments from the payer's bank. For short, incasso is one of the banking service that involves third parties in the process of collecting receivable in the form of property or securities that have not been paid. Okay, next we got giralisasi. Giralisasi is the storage of money in the form of current account in accordance with the debit order that has been signed by the customer. Transactions that customers can do with giralisation are telephone, water, electricity payments, tax payments, and mandatory road traffic accident fund contributions. Jadi giralisasi basically it's a non-cash payment. They only need like a form paper, and then you just write about the bank information about your account, and then you can use that as the payment. Okay, now we got the example for the real-time online transfer. This is called mobile banking app. when you need to use that for transferring some money or payment or cash, just use this mobile banking app. As long as you guys have internet connection, you can do it, the transaction, anytime and anywhere, as easy as simple as that, by your cell phone. And that's all from me. Thank you so much. And my friend Alencia will explain the next material. Thank you so much. Bye.
Hello, my name is Alencia Angelica Vera. I'm from International College Management Study Program. Here I will explain about Self-Deposit Box. Self-Deposit Box, or SDB, is a box-shaped storage place that is placed in a special room. The self-deposit box is usually provided by a bank for the benefit of its customers, which later this box can only be opened by the bank and the customer concerned. The function of the self-deposit box itself is to store valuable and high-value documents, as well as place the stored valuables items such as gold bars, jewelry, diamonds, pearl, or other items considered valuable. Next, I will explain about bank card. A bank card is a transaction card that provides bank's customer with the ability to pay for goods and services at retails and obtain cash from bank, cashier, or ATMs. Bank cards can be in the form of credit cards or withdrawals and checks or savings. Bank cards are also useful as identification when cashing or cashing checks. Next, I will explain about banknotes. The definition of banknotes in general is foreign currency issue or issue by foreign banks. Banknotes are also known as cash foreign exchange, which have characteristics like cash. In practice, banknotes are traded at banks and foreign exchange dealers. However, not all banknotes can be traded. This depends on the foreign exchange regulation in the country of origin of the banknote. And the last, I will explain about traveler checkers. Traveler checkers are paper documents that can be used like standard paper checks and cash. These checks work when you as a tourist are traveling with a large amount of cash or on vacation abroad to make it easier for you purchase transaction, because not all means of payment in other countries have debit or credit cards. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
So now I'm going to continue the explanation. So next is letter of credit, which is an international trade payment that aims to obtain exporter directly payment from importers without waiting for confirmation from importing countries. And after that, there's a function of letter of credit, which have the ability to facilitate global trading activities or the payment process, which commonly referred to as importing and exporting goods. And there's some types of letter of credit. First is revocable letter of credit, and next is irrevocable letter of credit, which is the opposite of revocable letter of credit. And after that, there's a sight and nuisance letter of credit. And there's when an importer exporter use a letter of credit way, there are several things that need to be prepared first, like eligible document, which a bill of lading, commercial invoice, parking list, weight note, measurement list, insurance certificate, consular invoice, leaflet, and superior report. After that, there's some involved parties that in the contents of the letter of credit. There is applicant, issuing bank, beneficiary, advising bank, and nominated bank, and negotiation bank, and comforting bank. So after that, there is a bank warranty and bank reference, which bank warranty is a guarantee of payment given by a bank to the party, but individual companies or other entity institution in the form of letter of agreement. And next, there's a purpose of granting bank by the guarantee reciprocal or pledges. There is a sum of it, which one is provide facility and convenience, and after that there's a cultivate mutual confidence between the collateral and provide a sense of security and peace in a time. And four is for bank in the addition to the above profit will also benefit from the cost that customer must pay as well as the opponent. And next, there's a bank reference, and bank reference. This bank reference is given to customer for certain purpose. For example, to take a part in tenders. And next, there's a service in the capital market. And the sellers in the capital market are the companies that need capital or issuers, so they seek to sell the asset. While the buyer or investor is the party who wants to buy capital in a company they think is profitable. And the service of the bank provide in order to support the smooth of transition in the capital market, which there's a six of it is underwriter, guarantor, trustee, broker, dealer, and investment of company. And also the last is receive deposit, and this type of service is the type that most often used by customer debts because the advance is more practical and safe and efficient. And in this case, the bank help customer in order to accommodate the deposit of various places. There's a tax payment, water payment, college fees, and electrical payment and phone payment. And there's still a lot of it extra. Okay, so that's all for me, and thank you.
The last bank services, which is a make-up payment for salary, retirement, bonuses, prizes, and dividends. So, in this modern life, company usually give a salary or bonuses to the workers through their bank account. So, I will give you some example, like civil servants, which is we call the PNS, which get up money from the government. So government will use banks as the perantara, banks as a perantara to give salary, bonuses, retirement money to the PNS civil servants. So para PNS civil servants will use these bank services. And I will move to the central bank's tax. So central banks in Indonesia, we used to call it Bank Indonesia. Bank Indonesia has the following tax. First is establish and implement monetary policy. Second is manage and maintain the operation of the payment system. And last is regulate and supervise the banks in Indonesia. So first, in order to determine and implement monetary policy, Bank Indonesia is authorized to setting monetary targets by taking into account the set inflation rate and carry out monetary control by using the following methods. First is open market operation in the money market, both rupiah and foreign exchange. Second is determination of the discount rate, and third is determination of minimum mandatory reserves. In this regard, Bank Indonesia applies an exchange rate policy based on a set value systems, manage foreign exchange reserves to fulfill foreign obligation, and can receive foreign loans. So Bank Indonesia have authority to stop the inflation or deflation, and vice versa. To achieve monetary targets, Bank Indonesia can also function as a lender of last resort. What is lender of last resort? Lender of last resort is a typical function of central banks in providing funding facilities to banks experiencing liquidity difficulties, the banks that experiencing the crisis. So move on the second task of central banks. In order to regulate and maintain the operation of the payment system, Bank Indonesia has the authority to first carry out and provide approval and permits for the implementation of payment system services. Second is requiring payment system service providers to submit reports on their activities. Third is determine the use of means of payment. In addition, Bank Indonesia also have the authority to regulate the interbank clearing system in rupiah or foreign currency and determine the types, prices, characteristic of money to be issued, raw materials used, and the date of entry into force as legal tender. Okay, and last but not least is in order to carry out the task of regulating and supervising banks, Bank Indonesia established regulations, grants and revokes licenses for certain institutions and business activities from banks, and carries out bank supervision and impose judgment on banks and in accordance with the wrong or false regulation. And that's all from me.